Okay, many of you know me, some of you may not. My name is Jerry Retzloff. I've known Kevin Simmons since 1986 when he was hired by the firm that I worked for 35 years. I was a part of the interview process and I asked Kevin three questions. I said, "Do you sail?" And he said, "No." And I said, "Do you play racquetball?" And he said, "No." And I said, "Do you drink beer?" And he said, "Yes." And we said, "Well, one out of three ain't bad, you're hired." Starting then, almost immediately, Kevin and I did incredible numbers of things in the outdoors. We started something called the Epic. We did the Big Sur Marathon in, I don't know, early 90s. And we decided that was kind of fun. It was just he and I, and so we decided to do something every year. And each year after that, we would do something, whether it was a double crossing of the Grand Canyon, running around Mount Hood, running around Mount St. Helens on the Leeward Trail, around Mount Rainier on the Wonderland Trail, across the Olympics, numerous events in the Cascades, some of them with our now departed Andy Martin, much as the loss. In addition to the Epics, so we sailed. We got Kevin sailing, although he hadn't sailed before. We sailed every Wednesday night after work in Puget Sound. We raced in the Swiftsure a couple of years, came in third place in the short course. Let me tell you a little story about Kevin and his sailing. Kevin ran foredeck for me, which if you don't know, it means you're up there raising and lowering the spinnaker. So we were on a broad reach one time, port tack, and Kevin was up there and got washed overboard on the starboard side. And I thought, oh my God, this is a disaster. So he's up forward. It's only a 27-foot boat, and just before I could even think about what to do, this hand comes leaping up out of the water and grabs the gunwale, then the life rail, and pulls himself back onto the boat. I've never seen it done before. He is a reliable individual. We are known for being very accurate in our time predictions. One instance was a climb of Mount Rainier, which Kevin and I have done numerous times also. And he wanted to do it in one day, starting at about 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night from Paradise. I took the rest of the group up and we were camped at Camp Muir. Problem was, logistically, I didn't get enough ropes up to Camp Muir, and so I had to count on Kevin being there with the rope. So I got up. We normally start climbing around 12 or 12:30. I got up around 11:30. No Kevin. I walked over to where I could see down the Muir snowfield, and I could see a bobbing headlight, and it was Kevin. He had the rope, obviously. We climbed successfully, as we've climbed numerous other mountains, Mount Adams, Mount St. Helens, Mount Jefferson, Mount Baker, Mount Chuckson. And then there's biking. We biked with his daughter Dana on the STP numerous times. Dana came with us, God bless her, for a ride, for a 3-day ride over, it's called the Bluebird Ride in Bickleton, Washington. We've done the Selkirk Loop with a group. That one, Kevin and I went to Willie Nelson concert at Marymore at 9 o'clock. When it was finished at 11:30, we got in the car and we drove to Spokane, where the rest of the group was, and we began our ride the next morning. Those are the kind of adventures we did. And one other little one I tell you about. We left work at 2 o'clock on Friday afternoon, drove down to Mount Shasta, got there around midnight, climbed Mount Shasta, got down, drove to Lassen Peak, climbed Lassen Peak, went down, drove to Death Valley, lowest point in the continental U.S., went from there to the Whitney Portal, climbed Mount Whitney, and nonstop, got back to the car and drove back to Seattle, went to work on the following Tuesday morning. Those are the kind of adventures I've had with Kevin over the years, and I just want to wish him a very happy birthday. some of us have achieved that 60-year milestone long ago. For me, it's much more than 10 years ago. So I can no longer keep up with the Tiger Tuesday group, but it's a worthy thing, and Kevin's kept that thing going. Kevin and I ran it up and down Mount Tiger multiple times a week for years on end, and now he's still doing it, keeping the group going. He's got new faces, but it's all for fun. So happy birthday, Kevin. I'll see you when I see you.